We're living in a depressing world.
I know. Oh, you're not plugged in yet.
Oh, thank you.
Koshik!
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I can't believe I almost did that twice.
Okay, are we plugged?
Testing. Okay, it's recording. We're starting now. Yeah. Synchronizing for
no camera.
No camera, but just making sure I didn't fuck everything up again.
Hey man, we all do dumb shit.
Yeah.
Is it plugged in over there?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Everything's nice and tidy.
Good.
I was editing the episode where I just scream about being screwed over by my employers, but so yeah, I've just been selectively lowering the audio just a little bit because I don't want to blow out my own eardrums.
God, man.
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing, hearing yourself get emotionally heated and then going back and be like, oh, that. I wasn't that
Angry?
I was pretty angry, but I wasn't just Alex Jones level, I guess.
Speaking of that, psychotic. I introduced my grandmother to Alex Jones because I said,
"Oh yeah, the T-shirt, yeah, the Zone Tan, I Heart Tentacles." I don't know if I mentioned it before, but this one I think is more low quality than the other shirts in the store because it has that sort of theme park Chuck E. Cheese's painting on it where it's chipping off. And I think that the other one, they embroider. I think it's embroidery, or it's just I don't know if that's a technical term, but the paint is seeped into the other side in the more high quality T-shirts. This one is just I guess one coat.
I kind of like the aesthetic of a chipping T-shirt. If that makes sense.
Yeah, there's sort of a old carnival kind of feel to it, I guess.
Carnies.
Yeah,
we have a modern Carnies.
Mm-hmm.
True story. My mom and my grandma was doing something, and they slept in tents next to the Carnies, and they heard at least two people fucking all night. One guy pissing outside in front of her tent, and one man barfing his brains out off the pier.
Sounds par for the course.
Turns out one of them was actually related to her. Yep. There's Uncle Stubby out there.
Speaking of carnivals, I've been back to playing in Detroit, and it's the part of the game where you go into the Android theme park, and it's just awful. It's just this really awful, sappy, ham-fisted scene. Literally, the end of the scene is how they have the branching paths, and some of them only have one ending, and this one's just the ending was the group shares a quiet moment. It's feel emotion, player. Do you feel emotions?
So,
I was just watching this, I'm I'd rather be playing Nier Automata because there's a theme park level in that.
I need to finish
a million
Nier.
times. Yeah, it's a good.
I just woke up one night and I heard the Witcher theme in my head, and I'm I have to play Witcher 3, and I never actually finished it, and I'm replaying Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm. I saw a comment saying Mr. Feel on Twitter. He's been playing Disco Elysium, which I guess is the new big thing. It's this point-and-click RPG kind of thing, but it's largely text-based, but it has really good writing. And he was saying how he's comparing it to Witcher 3 in the writing sense, and that Disco Elysium has a sort of cynical world, but they have some characters that sort of give you a little bit of hope, and Witcher 3 doesn't have any hope.
You know what's weird? Can I explain to you what quest made me go, oh, fuck, I love this game in the worst way and best way possible? I'm going to fucking spoil a very large part of the main story. Mm-hmm. You meet this dude named the Bloody Baron, and you can probably guess that he's not a very nice guy. He wants you to find his wife and daughter who ran off or went missing, and I spoil a big part. He's a wife beater. His wife, turns out, knows every button to hit, and they've been having a huge domestic violence thing. She cuckolded him for 10 years, an actual quote of him. He killed the guy, and he beat her, and it turned out she hated him so much she wanted to get rid of her pregnancy by selling it to the witches, so she miscarried. Long story short, this man is a wife beater. He is violent. He is abusive to everyone but his daughter. But I didn't want him to die. He wanted to redeem himself, and And I got an actual fucking happy ending where he actually comes to grips and he has to take his wife to this healer up in the mountains. I'm like, oh my fuck. I feel bad for the wife beater because, he's a fucking monster, but he wants to change. I think I get a happy ending. And now I can't wait till I fuck over every other single character by accident. I hate playing The Witcher because I play The Witcher. He's too nice. He's like, I won't accept payment. I won't take I didn't get payment for about 4 different missions because I was too busy being a nice guy.
Yeah, I've heard that if you're too nice, then the game ends up sucker punching you or something.
Yeah, and I'm fucking worried about that. Also, you have that whole the love triangle thing between the bitch and the bitch that I know from the other game, so I kind of like more.
Mm-hmm. Also, I gotta remember to stop saying like. So I gotta get all on my system right now. Like. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Like, if anybody has a problem with it, then you're free to leave. I was actually watching. I've been watching Tim Lim's podcast. He's the artist for My Hero Macadamia. He teams up with Mark Pellegrini, who's the writer. They've done a bunch of comics. Black Ops #2 is out right now. I haven't checked out the first one yet, but I've heard it's really good, so I'm gonna do that soon. But but like pretty much everybody on that podcast says pretty much every sentence, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think it's a big deal, and if you don't like I said, whatever. Like I said, just whatever. I don't care.
It's like what they say.
Yeah, if you're expecting quality from this podcast, then you're going to be disappointed.
Well, maybe not disappointed, but you won't be,
Yeah, I want to at least try a little bit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't if trying and improving wasn't part of our agenda, that I wouldn't have bought this extra equipment, and we'd still be using the crappy. I mean, it's also for sake of efficiency too.
Yeah.
It was really annoying using 2 different recorders and editing those, so it was more a matter of convenience than trying to please our audience. And quite frankly, I don't really give a shit if we don't have an audience anyway. Like, I'm fine with just having 10 or less views per episode. And it's weird how people react when you say that. Like, they just can't believe it. They think that
some people think that
they think it's all about success. It's all about making money. Really, it's just with us. For me personally, how I see it, it's just a way for us to get together and shoot the shit.
Yeah, it's sort of like, for me, it's kind of therapeutic to talk.
Yeah, I would like to do some live shows soon.
That would be cool.
I would love to do a live studio thing for our 100th episode, which is probably going to be next year.
Hey, we should get a trombone for it, learn how to play like an instrument, do a monkey bar theme, and fucking butcher it, and there is no good here. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, they have a new species of dinosaur they're calling Zool after Ghostbusters. And the fucking scientific article is literally called, "There is no Ankylosaurus in Alberta, there is only Zool." Fuck that guy. That's almost as bad as Thanos. And Thanos is just a fucking neck fossil. Vertebrate, whatever the fuck you call it. Yeah. Hey, question about Detroit Become Human. Do you think it would be better if halfway through the game the Doom guy showed up?
I mean, any game would improve. Any terrible game would improve if the Doom guy showed up.
Yeah, he just it turns to a first-person shooter as you play as Doom and kill all the... No, you have to kill all the characters that are mean to androids. And then you have to choose, my name is Connor. He does that fucking weird coin shit. I like Connor. He seemed interesting.
Yeah, he's pretty much the only good character in the game, aside from, I guess, Hank. I mean, he's the only good playable character.
Do you think Hank should be playable?
I don't want to ruin it. I mean, whatever. I don't really care. But I heard that Connor's actor, he was annoying David Cage because he kept improving, and that's the reason that his character is so good, because a lot of what he does is improv.
Oh my god!
Reminds me of they were talking on the Bunderdrome, Tim Linden's podcast. That's what he calls it. But they were talking about Caddyshack, and it's been a while since I watched Caddyshack, and I wanted to go back and rewatch it because I think the first time I watched it, I didn't really get it. But they were explaining how, and I didn't know about this. And they were saying how they were originally going to shoot it just like a traditional movie, but it really wasn't working out. They they were looking at the dailies and it was terrible. So they just decided to make the focus of the movie just these comedians, Chevy Chase, Rodney Dangerfield, just have the whole movie be them improving and riffing off each other, and it worked, I guess. But,
yeah, that's what I like. I like when you can see genius at play.
Yeah, and I think that if you have that knowledge going in, then you'll probably have a better time. So, or that's what I'm assuming. I want to go back and rewatch it. If it still is on Netflix, I'm hoping it's still on Netflix. Because I was going back and I wanted to watch, because Shea Webcomics, they started their series on movies to watch if you want to become a good artist. The first one on there was The Big Lebowski. And The Big Lebowski was on Netflix, but I went back and checked, and it's not anymore. And they also had Seven and Zodiac. Both of those movies are gone. So, man, like a lot of movies that I missed out on.
Are we talking about like the movie Seven, where the style is SE7EN?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fucking good taste, guys.
Yeah.
Fucking good taste.
Yeah. A lot of David Fincher movies are really good. I can't think of a single David Fincher movie that people hated, but there probably is one. I don't know.
I'm thinking about when I get some chance. I really want to watch the Terry Gilliam Imagination trilogy.
Imaginarium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one movie, right?
He did a trilogy they call the Imagination Trilogy. I don't remember the first two, but the last one was Baron Munchausen.
Oh yeah, Baron Munchausen. The other one might have been Time Bandits.
Yeah, and then I think Brazil was the middle one.
Oh, okay, those three. Yeah, I was thinking of the one with Heath Ledger.
Oh yeah, and the one where he died and they had to recast him as 4 different actors. Three for plot reasons, one for like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've watched Brazil. That's a really good movie. I haven't watched either Adventures of Baron Munchausen or Time Bandits yet.
How I got into that, because I was playing, or you know the game Let It Die, right? Mm-hmm. Vern Troyer voices an enemy. So I went on to Vern Troyer's Wikipedia, and then I went down that Wikipedia rabbit hole to fucking Terry Gilliam's his work. And I'm like, wow, he made some interesting looking stuff. Mm-hmm. I never really saw a lot of his stuff. Never even saw a lot of Monty Python until recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He also was Mini-Me in Austin Powers.
I know. That's how I know him best.
Yeah.
I fucking love Austin Powers. It's a fucking guilty pleasure of mine.
I think that the Austin Powers movies are on Netflix. I know.
I own them all on DVD.
Oh, yeah. Huh. Actually, I think that only Spy Who Shagged Me and Goldmember are on Netflix right now. I don't know about the first one, but I remember liking all 3. But I was a teenager, so I don't know how well the other 2 have held up.
You know, Fat Bastard's a character that is both fucking awful and fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, so you know the game For Honor, there's that big fat fucking sumo dude. Mm-hmm. Someone did a video where they played Fat Bastard quotes while playing with him, and it stuck in my head.
They had the soundboard.
Yeah. I was playing. I was playing fucking Mortal Kombat Online. They have Combat League, and Combat League is where all the, do you know about this new WWE? You know those guys who like, who believe like fighting games, if you lose, they don't feed your family for a week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's those fucking guys, and you'd be surprised how many people can teabag you in Mortal Kombat. Obviously, it's just crouching, but some of them take some effort. They'll do backflips first.
Oh. Speaking of, like teabagging, that always makes you think of playing Halo 3. I'd see that sometimes. I can't wait for the Master Chief Collection to come out.
See, when I used to play Halo, I wouldn't teabag you unless you were a shitty player. I don't mean shitty like not good. I mean shitty like camping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know this until I watched Frederick Knudsen Down the Rabbit Hole. Mm-hmm. But it was his last video on this guy Wings of Redemption, and how in the background there was also going through Keemstar's history and how he was originally part of a Halo 3 griefing group called the FAG.
You know what? That does not fucking surprise me. I do not like Keemstar.
Yeah, I didn't know much about him, and I didn't even know he existed until the iDubbbz Content Cop video on him.
Oh, iDubbbz butchered him? Mm-hmm. Stuck him? I'm sorry. There are some people... Keemstar's just a fucking cunt.
Yeah.
You know, it's... griefing... Yeah, don't do it, kids. But you don't have to be an ass about every fucking thing you do.
Yeah. What is the technical definition of griefing? Because I don't know if I'm...
Playing a game and somehow finding a way to be a fucking dick while doing it. Like,
okay, that sounds about right.
Spawn killing, for example.
Yeah. I know they were doing, like, mic spamming stuff, too.
Oh, that's lovely. Or if you're the technical kind, hacking people's accounts.
Oh, that reminds me. I saw a video. It was kind of a blast from the past of when 4chan was on Fox News or whatever.
Oh.
You ever seen that video?
No.
Where they did a segment on 4chan Anonymous back in 2007, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's where the buy a dog meme comes from. It's where she said... where... like they were saying, like they're called hackers on steroids. They cut to a footage of an exploding van, just with a caption that says "simulation" in the corner.
Oh my!
So like really crazy stuff like that, where they just are completely out of touch with these guys.
You know what I fucking love? I love when, like, you can tell when someone just, I don't want to say boomer, but you can tell when someone of that sort of age bracket is like, so I was on Google and I found out about this thing called a troll online. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Yes, it is crazy, Grandma. Now, I have you to read this fucking 15-page encyclopedia. It's short, but it's informative.
Yeah, do you think we're going to be that out of touch when we're in our 60s?
It's weird because either we'd be so adapted as a generation, we'd be like, hey, fuck you, asshole! You spawn-killing dick!
Uh-huh.
On our giant Game Gear 600.
And by then, we'll be able to plug our brains to the computer.
That'd be fucking awesome. Grandpa, what are you doing? Dovahkiin. Todd Howard's a fucking immortal god being. Mm-hmm. He's fucking created a VR Skyrim MMORPG of which he is the fucking Parthenax.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of him, I just read some news on like Bethesda made an announcement on Fallout 76.
Yeah.
There's a gold membership that you can pay $100 a month, $100 a year to become a gold member and get free, like exclusive membership perks.
Bethesda, what the fuck?
Like, I almost admire the balls on them to just be doubling down on Fallout 76.
Yeah, like they're digging for Idaho gold, you know?
Yeah, they're just so determined to make Fallout 76 the next big thing, in spite of everything fucking up tremendously.
There is something... I like the art direction of Fallout 76. Yeah. That's it.
I mean, it looks kind of worse than...
No, I mean like the monster designs.
Oh, okay.
The concept art is what I like. Mm-hmm. You know, like the Scorched look kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Like, the only thing I find appealing about Fallout 76 is that you don't have to play as the player character from Fallout 4.
Good.
That you can just be whoever you want to be, literally on the fly, and that you can edit your character whenever you want and basically have no identity or whatever. I mean,
you're a changeling.
I don't think that's that important, but I mean, I haven't checked to see how much of the gameplay stuff, how much of the bugs that they fixed.
I know they released some DLC, so possibly some.
Yeah, there are NPCs now on Fallout 76, which I thought that was a selling point, is that there were no NPCs. That was supposed to be how, like, they claimed it was always supposed to be.
Maybe it's just merchants and shit like that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some people who still like to play Fallout 76.
You know what, I've been getting back to No Man's Sky. You know, and it's fucking... It's atmospheric as hell. I've been really getting into it. Mm-hmm. I found an alien space freighter, made a camp out of there, and made little fucking tunnels because of the fucking fauna. Well, I've been saying fuck a lot.
At least you're not saying like too much.
Fucking like, am I right?
You're going to be put on a list for saying like too much.
Hey, what's the worst article you've read recently? Like the worst opinion, or like the worst thing?
Oh, there was one. I can't remember what it was about, though. It was like saying how... it was something about... Oh, yeah, it was how video games that make you work are bad. Or like video games are bad because they make you work to have fun. Just like something really general like that. Like the mechanics of a video game where you have to complete the video game in order to have fun, or something like really obtuse and just didn't make any sense at all. It sounded like they were like criticizing games for challenging you it was just, it broke my brain, kind
of. Was it fucking IGN?
I think it might have been, but I don't know. But I retweeted it, so I might have to look it up real quick.
Yeah,
but
would you be angry if I borrowed your phone to take a peek at the article when you retweet it?
Sure, I'll show you in a minute.
Yeah.
Because you really need to see this.
Oh fuck, cause you.
Oh, here it is. It was about the Goose Game, Untitled Goose Game, saying, "Untitled Goose Game is fun. The problem is all games are also work. The only problem is that you have to play the game to do so, and playing a game is a chore. That's the problem with video games. To enjoy them, you have to play them, and playing them requires exerting the effort to operate them. Games are machines, and broken ones at that. The player's job is to make them work again."
The fuck? That's...
It's The Atlantic. That was the magazine. So you can swipe.
Who fucking... Is this like a person who's ever played a video game before in their life, or is
it sounds like somebody who's just grown in a pod and just.
He was created by the Atlantic. They're planning to create a new. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I have also said something I replied to that. I'm like, Harlan Ellison, pay the writer. Also Harlan Ellison. No, not that writer.
God. But you know what? I read this article. I was looking at Mortal Kombat stuff because I've been playing Kano, you know. Mm-hmm. And the Kano and how to learn about Australia. And then we summed up as, yes, he would go yes, Kano has knives, but not all Australian people stab you. Yes, Kano pisses in the corner of a ring for an intro, but not all Australians piss in the corner. It was the most fucking let me tell you about Australia by using Kano as he pisses in the corner and stabs someone in the throat with a broken bottle. Mm-hmm. And the guy wrote it it was this big think piece of how Kano is a good Australian, but he's not perfect. Okay. I thought that was all, but no, you beat that. That thing walked over and ripped that Kano article in half and fine, no play, all working, no play makes Atlantic a dull boy. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Harlan Ellison, I was just thinking about this today. I don't know if I brought it up before on the podcast, but there are some videos on his dedicated YouTube channel. One of them was how your fans you don't owe your fans anything, and his point was how when people say you should respect your fans because they made you, and it's no, that's not true, because if I was a terrible writer, if I was dog shit at writing, then and the only people who flocked to me were my fans, then it's something along the lines of, if I'm a good writer, then people will recognize that, not just my fans. If my writing is dog shit, then I'll have fans anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
How I've always thought of it is, if you're a fan, so be it. But the fans don't kind of control what you write.
Right.
I don't want a fan to walk in there oh yeah, I like your last Smokes book, but maybe he shouldn't have killed that monkey. Mm-hmm. Or what the fuck.
Yeah. My worst nightmare is being at a Comic-Con panel or something, and people asking me questions about my book, about my project, being which of your characters is going to be trans? Are you going to introduce a person of color? And I'll just be there
I'm just picturing you sitting there with these zombie eyes, the deep circles. You're sitting there and you go, you will see his name is Clayne Dockerson. Or what? I'm sorry, I was about to say Shane Dawson. Wait, no. The main character's name isn't Shane Dawson.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is probably gonna be my expression there.
I like the zombie look, actually. I've been thinking about how I'm going to handle the inclusivity angle, that if it applies to the fucking plot, apply. If not, leave it be. Mm-hmm. For all you fucking know, the character Ironclad could be gayer in the month of May. And that doesn't matter because he's too busy being the fucking villain.
Was it Arcade Gannon in Fallout New Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
It was real. You could find out that he was gay through like a dialogue option.
Yeah, and
there's like nothing else that really indicates that in the game.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like this hidden little Easter egg, which I heard got a lot of praise.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Because like when you try to make a character, what's his selling point? He's a gay orc.
And what else?
He's an orc who happens to enjoy sticking his dick in other orcs.
Who also have dicks, yeah. unless they're trans-binary orcs that don't have...
Like, did I mention that Pathfinder, the RPG thing, had that, like, non-binary half-orc? It was gay, but, like, that... It sounds horrible, but the character is just treated like another character. Yeah. It was strange. It actually made sense.
I mean, with any luck, by the time that my stuff takes off, if it does, then like all this woke crap will be gone or like be tossed to the wayside.
Like there's interesting stories you can do with that elements, but you know,
and it's not for me, so you're not gonna see it in my stuff.
I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna bring that up in fucking Smokes?
I know one of the writers who used to come to our sci-fi group. She would say how. Her characters spoke to her and said, you know, this is who I am. And I guess that's like, that's sort of my argument is that the characters I write, they don't strike me, they're all basically, most of them, at least right now, are just white, straight, heterosexual characters. And it's like, I don't see any of them being any other way. That's just who they are.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, then you're a bigot, obviously.
Okay, like when I did, like I don't do much thing, but I play with race a little bit in Smokes. I decided to sprinkle a handful of ethnicity throughout the work and say leave it at that. It adds variety to the cast and designs, but at the end of the day, the only character who's kind of impacted by that is Smokes and also Snaggletooth.
Yeah, like there is. I think I did that with one of the characters that's probably gonna be introduced, but she's like the dark-skinned blonde with big tits. And she's like really peppy.
That one.
Gyaru, I guess.
Gyaru.
That's how you pronounce it. Sort of in that vein.
Hey, can I tell you my favorite ending of a video game ever? So, you know Let It Die? If you beat the final boss, you find out that this character who's been with you the entire game, he's like the ultimate villain, and he's going to send you into the moon to turn the moon to a weapon to destroy all of Earth. And you're getting there, and you know he's doing his whole villain speech, and behind him, a 30-foot-tall monster is the final boss. No, there's no final boss. He kills the final boss and says, let's go get that new video game. And he grabs it and you bounce off in the end. It's the best ending ever. It's the blue ball ending to a video game. It's amazing how he did it.
I was thinking about this with first-person shooters. You don't really see a lot of good final boss fights in first-person shooters.
I can think of maybe one or two.
Like Doom 2016 had a really good final boss.
I was thinking of like I was thinking classic, to be honest, like the Cyber Demon.
Yeah. Or the what's the name of the one from Doom 2 with John Romero's head?
The Icon of Evil.
Icon of Sin.
Oh, Icon of Sin.
Yeah.
What would John Romero do? Like, do you count Bioshock as a first-person shooter?
Everybody hates that final boss, though.
I'm talking about Bioshock 2.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this.
Yeah, I would count it.
Bioshock 2 is fucking awesome. Subject Delta. I love Subject Delta.
Yeah. I don't hear a lot of people talk about Bioshock 2, actually.
Because it's a fucking hidden gem. Because what I love is, in Bioshock 1, you're scared of a Big Daddy. You hear a boom, boom. And you go, oh shit, he's gonna rape my ass. And then, in Bioshock 2, you're the monster. And you can either be the gentle giant, or you can fucking put your drill through an old black lady. It's your choice. Anyways.
Yeah, I remember people complaining about that, specifically, how, you know, it's like, oh, it's not like Bioshock 1. But I think that, I don't know, with that kind of stuff, you need to sort of shake it up a little bit.
And Big Daddies are one of my favorite video game bosses of all time, design-wise. Just not even concept, just the design of the game. is that it's a boss that you have to prepare for. You have to decide when you're going to battle him.
Right.
Or you can be a retard like me and shoot it by accident. Ah, shit. Mm-hmm. Plus, they're a fucking cool design, the whole... Bioshock's really cool looking as a setting.
Yeah, there's that Art Deco
the
design.
Art Deco, the Subnautic themes.
Uh-huh.
The Subnautica word.
Yeah.
Nautical.
Subnautical, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say Subnautica. That's a video game. That's a game that I've been meaning to check out.
I actually fucking love the creature designs because I love speculative evolution. It's like my nerdiest hobby. Like, hey, bros, let's pick a group of animals from different family types and try and make a universe in which they evolve to live. And my best is fucking giant iguana cows. So, like, Subnautica's cool because it's accurate. Yeah, I'm fucking all over the place energy-wise, as you can tell.
Yeah, kind of same here. Probably the weather. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember when, a week ago, when it was just starting to get cold, everybody was really tired and just wanted to die. And now it's like, it got kind of warm lately. This is really, riveting subject matter we're talking about right now.
The weather.
How's the weather? Warm today? Warm yesterday?
That's a good voice.
That's from Family Guy, actually.
Oh.
It was from one of the first. I think it was the second season.
Oh, I was watching Family Guy the other day, and there was I was flipping for a channel. Like, this is a good fucking joke. Mm-hmm. And then they fucking butchered it. Ugh. They butchered the next joke to the point of oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That's like the ultimate, if you can do a string of good jokes and one flop, that's good. Mm-hmm. If you do one good joke, one atrocious joke, I'm not in.
Yeah. I've heard people say that the new season of Family Guy is pretty good, but I don't believe them.
I think it's more like, it was good at one point, wasn't it, my lord? Mm-hmm. Also, if you play enough Witcher 3, you start thinking like a medieval peasant.
Have you played or heard of Kingdom Come Deliverance?
I heard of it and I saw the gameplay and I'm like, no.
I mean, it has the For Honor system, sort of.
Kind of.
Except you have 5 directions.
You have my secretive. I prefer games that are RPGs with character creation. Mm-hmm. Now, Witcher is cool because Witcher's, so fucking story driven. But I wouldn't mind a game where you make your own Witcher. You pick what school you're from. I'm from School of a Snake, and we get carved swords or swords.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a game, Kingdom Come. It looks like a game that requires a lot of time to be invested into it in order to enjoy it.
Monster Hunter's like that. Mm-hmm. There's this thing when I play Monster Hunter, I can't play it too often, but if it's been a while since I played, when that muscle memory comes back, fucking brutal. Mm-hmm. And they also added DLC that actually makes some weapons more viable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like Skyrim where you're a total badass out the gates. Who does get curb stomped by giants and mammoths, but you can work. That's what you level up to fight, I guess.
You walk over and you grab him by his giant beard and you say, "Are you ready to die?"
Yeah, have you had those those experiences where you go over to a giant just kicks you right into the 50 feet into the air?
That was one of my first Skyrim experiences I remember. Is I was an orc barbarian. Yes, I have a sword, and I ran over, and I could hear, when the winged hussars arrive, and there's power metal in my head, and he just he takes that club, and he's like, a hole in one.
And then you just see the whole map.
I love it so fucking much.
Yeah.
Do you
think that was intentional or was it a glitch?
I believe it was a glitch they kept in there because it's too fucking good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine if you got hit and you landed up to the spawn location of Meridia's Beacon and you had to play that cutscene. That's probably not ever possible. I like to imagine that it is. Mm-hmm.
I haven't read, but I don't know if they're going to do a new engine for the next Bethesda
I think
game.
So, since they're doing a new console.
Yeah. Have they still been using the same engine for Fallout 4? Do they use the same engine since Morrowind?
I believe they've been using, same one since Fallout 3.
Uh-huh. But Fallout 3 used the same engine from Oblivion.
Oh, Oblivion, that's what I meant.
And that used the same engine from Morrowind.
Yep, so we've been on, it's a good engine apparently.
Yeah, it's I was going to say sturdy, but there's plenty of hiccups.
How are we doing on time?
We're fine. We're 30 minutes.
All right.
But I remember, I think that Valve, they stopped production. They just put Half-Life 3, Episode 3 on hold because their engine was outdated. But you look at Bethesda, they're just using the same engine from 99.
It walks in there and it's got saggy tits and beaten out. Like, let me go. No, we got 2 more games to squeeze in.
Huh? Okay. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I apologize, dude.
Jingle bells! Jingle bells! Jingle all the way!
Yes, there is a hell. It's so simple. All I have to do is guide them there.
That's nice, dear.
From that commercial break.
We're welcome back to the Monkey Bar. I forget what we were talking about.
Oh, we were talking about the engine for...
Oh, wait, I was actually going to bring this up, but on my Twitter feed, the same guy who wrote that Don't Play the Goose Game, All Games Are Work, he wrote 2 other articles. One was the title, Video Games Are Better Without Stories, and the other one is Video Games Are Better Without Characters.
The actual fuck.
Yeah. I think that this guy's trolling or something. Like,
Either he's trolling or he's the fucking mega boomer.
Yeah, or he's like just that mentally deranged. Apparently,
when I grew up, we had fucking Atari.
I was reading the comments on this. He said, like, one of the people replying said, pretty sure I saw something that this dude made a clicker game. And somebody replied that it was like a deconstruction on the clicker genre. I don't know how you would like deconstruct a cookie clicker or whatever.
Click, click, click. You're a faggot. Click, click, click. I hope you die.
Yeah, that would be something interesting.
Meaningless.
I mean, meaningless, but whatever. It's
No, that's what
like,
it does. It calls you meaningless.
Okay.
It's nihilism.
I mean, it's both, I guess.
Yeah.
Why not both? Both is good. I'm trying to list off all the both memes that I've seen this year. One of them was from Road to El Dorado, which makes me want to go back and rewatch Road to El Dorado.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah, and also the girl in that is unusually sexy, and like that was kind of this thing with a lot of DreamWorks girls in that era.
Oh,
there was Adventures of Sinbad, the giant woman.
Ooh. The sorceress, right?
Yeah. There's another DreamWorks one. I'm thinking of the Moses one, Prince of Egypt.
You can't fap to a Bible movie. That's bad luck, man.
There's like one scene in that where it's implied that there's like a harem of girls like giving him a bath, and it implies that like one of them is touching his crotch.
It's tough to be a god. Prince of Egypt is probably one of the best religious movies ever made.
Yeah.
As much as I love the movie, my favorite song is We Got Friends in High Places. Because it names almost all the Egyptian gods. Mm-hmm. Khnum, Ptah, Hekti, Sekhmet.
Yeah. I miss 2D animated DreamWorks movies.
Have you seen that? It's called Klaus.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know. It's I'm not really into Christmas movies, but I'll give it a watch. Just
I'd watch it with my grandma because my grandma fucking loves Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And also that fucking Santa Claus design. If nothing else, I'll use it for like a D&D game. Like, look at my barbarian. That's a fucking dwarf disproportionately.
I mean, given that we're nearing the end of October, it's only fitting that we talk about Christmas movies.
God. Boop!
I mean, I was going to title the last episode the Halloween special, so let's make this the Christmas special. And we're almost at the end of the episode, and we're just going to make this a Christmas special.
Yeah,
now.
you know what we should do? Like, cut to a picture of the manger, but you draw the monkey bar logo over it.
Yeah.
Make it like a retarded animal manger.
Yeah.
No, I'll do it then.
Yeah. One of the Christmas movies that I always see getting the most love is Elf with Will Ferrell.
I never digged that movie. I never...
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched it, and I remember the first time I watched it, I was kind of indifferent on it. But I might give it another watch when November comes around.
Nightmare Before Christmas is
yeah.
Yeah, it's more my fucking speed.
Well, it's both. It's one that you can both watch on Halloween and on Christmas.
And any time of the year if you're a pathetic man-child.
Yeah, if you're a Hot Topic goer, then yeah.
I used to fucking like Hot Topic. Them's fighting words.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you want to do our creative process?
Oh, yeah, sure. We can cycle into that because I want to wrap this up soon, I guess. A little bit soon. We might, let's cut before the hour mark, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now I'm in the process of outlining my November writing month comic.
Yeah.
I'm not
Nanocomo.
It's a nanodrama, I think that's what it is officially hashtagged as. But right now I'm just doing the outline, not doing the scripting, but I'm just doing outlines and also character sketches and trying to get good at doing vehicles and military drawings and stuff. Like the last week before it's sort of my crunch time right now.
Could I give you an idea for military designs?
Sure.
Insectoid based. Think of like maybe trying to give that insect look, that compact armor to the military.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go too weird though.
Not like weird, but like think of like a dragonfly's eyes for visors. Or maybe how beetles have mainly rounded shapes except for more jagged ones near the top.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't like doing that ornate stuff for like the government like military stuff.
Yeah.
I want to keep it mostly grounded in reality, unless like because the more ornate experimental weapons and armor that you'd get from like raiders or freelancers.
Oh, good point.
So yeah, I think that this would take place like 50 years before the Yesterday Kids comic, so it's more in line with technology today, or just straight technology of today, contemporary stuff, just like a little bit more futuristic looking. I've been looking at concept military vehicles, concept cars, stuff that people think may or may not take off in the near future. And a little bit of Detroit, because I've said before, Detroit has really good art design and all that stuff.
The polar bear is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a goofy thing, but yeah, it's probably the goofiest thing in Detroit is that polar bear in the attic.
That sounds like a children. The polar bear in the attic. Roar! Kill me, bring me children. Imagine if someone like a furry got like an android body and put like an android animal, put a human in there. It's a talking dog.
Yeah, but the reason I'm going with the story that I'm doing, the comic that I'm doing, is because like the poll I put up on Twitter, it ended up tying at 50-50 either draw or write and draw, and I decided to, and I replied to that saying, if this gets a tie, then I'm like digging up a crappy fan fiction from when I was 16. Yeah, and I did. And I'm being very, very liberal with what I do take from that fan fiction, because it's very nearly unsalvageable. I would have to make it a straight up black comedy in order to make it work, which, I'm a week away from doing the comic, but I'm just going with what I have right now, which is to strip it down to this very, very basic premise, which is 3 different characters in a fucked up situation where the world is coming apart, and how these characters end up interacting with each other during this narrative. That's a very, very
general statement, but it's
general narrative.
But it's also premise. A strong concept.
Yeah, so I wanted to incorporate that concept into the comic then, like the official comic that I'm going to start, which is Yesterday Kids. This is going to be a comic that takes place during the Second Civil War, where I'll go over this. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but it takes place in a small town where this sovereign nation is rising from, just trying to build their own, seceding nation from the United States, and how it's impacting this one small town, and how it's all going to eventually, blow up, whether metaphorically or literally.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. I haven't had as much time to develop an elevator pitch for that as I have for the Yesterday Kids. So. For
nanodrama on my side, I'm working on Night and Days. For my last couple of days, I've been working on generally the lore of the world. Mm-hmm. I decided to make it, my idea is almost Tolkien-esque in an aspect, where there's 3 major races. And the 3 major races are the 3 kingdoms of elf, man, and dwarf. Mm. Also, for shits and giggles, the dwarfs are giants, or huge. Why are you called dwarfs? Because the giants were bigger. Mm-hmm. And my idea is that each of these races has suffered a cataclysm of some sort, and this has led to the world entering a form of decay. A big theme of the story will be visually death, decay, rot, ruin, but there is hope in it, because my idea is that, they discover that Maybe if we band together and overthrow the shackles of the old, something new can bloom. That there's also going to be a super edgy villain who has his armor fused to his flesh. Because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
I looked up, if a knight got struck by lightning, the armor wouldn't fuse as much. It would just cause major burns, which got me disappointed.
Yeah, I wish you luck in your thing.
My idea is going to be more... I'm trying not to overworld build. I'm trying to build up where the story will be going through.
Yeah.
It's sort of also a bit of my stab at heroic fantasy, where there's the one chosen one who must do the deed for all of the world.
Have you been trying out thumbnails or sketching out the layout?
I have. My idea for Night and Day, I had this idea. Have you ever seen how old D&D dungeon art looked? Where when negative spaces usually they have that cross lines. I want to do something like that. I had the idea of actually doing blue and white for color, like the old D&D module, because it's very much rooted in old D&D. That sort of feel of, of where magic is extremely fucking powerful, but also people are super weak. This ain't Skyrim. If you get hit with if you get hit with a fireball, there's a hole in your chest, and you're grabbing it, making noises, because your lungs are now ash.
Would you bleed out from a fireball, or would that cauterize?
I think my fireballs just eat a hole through you.
Right. Because I remember there was a Star Wars comic where it was really bloody, which I think it was, I can't remember the name of this
was
assassin.
it Darth Vader one?
No, it was the assassin girl with the white skin. It wasn't Asajj Ventress who was in the Clone Wars, but it was the one before her. She had the red ponytail.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
I know what she looks like.
Yeah, but there was a scene at the beginning where she kills a bunch of Jedi and there's blood spraying, and I was wondering if because
maybe it's a cold saber.
In the movies you see that there's no blood because the wound immediately cauterizes. I guess. I mean, do you think of Luke getting his hand cut off? There's no Monty Python blood spraying everywhere, but that would be awesome, but not in a PG movie.
By the way, I did have this one thing that I want to work on. You got me thinking about this, of how I want to handle the idea of death. I don't want any of the major hero characters to die for a lot of the story, but when they do die, I want it to be impactful. Something. Do you remember Red Dead Redemption 2 when what was his name? The O'Connor boy comes riding in and they cut his head off? Something like that. I just really like this aspect of fantasy where the hero isn't the hero, where you follow someone whose point of view is ignored, almost the bandit, the thief, the crook.
See, I feel like if I were to do a fantasy story, I'd probably go in the opposite direction, back to the sort of traditional hero who's the hero, with,
the chosen one.
The chosen one, kind of almost.
Here's my idea for how I address that. The chosen one is someone who, they do the celestial deal. He gets killed by accident. So basically the gods go, okay, let's find someone who is similar. And their only choice is a bandit who can't even spell his own name.
Yeah. I guess with me, it's less chosen one, but more like the noble, self-sacrificing type of hero, like Luke from who, or what Luke was until Rian Johnson decided to take a shit all over.
I think what I also would like to do is maybe take this bandit, make a hero. I can make you a hero in just 7 days.
Is that from Hercules?
No, that's from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the training sequence with Phil in the.
I love that fucking scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's Danny DeVito singing. What's not to love?
Yeah, he captured that role.
I mean, basically every role he's in, he's almost perfectly cast. I can't think of a single role he hasn't been perfectly cast in, to be honest.
Yeah, people like to meme him, but he's a good actor.
Yeah, there's been a lot of actors actually who got a lot of shit in the past, in the 2000s, who are just making a total comeback.
Keanu Reeves,
Nicolas Cage, Brendan Fraser.
I told my grandma about the movie John Wick, and she said, "Oh, Keanu Reeves."
Oh.
And I showed it to her, and she's like,
"Yeah." I was thinking about John Wick earlier today and comparing it to the Transporter. You ever seen the Transporter?
Yeah.
I think Tim Lim was talking about it, or like somebody on the Bunderdrome was talking about Transporter. Maybe it was Shea Webcomic. I don't know. But like the point is, Transporter is just this really dumb and boring movie, and the sequels are dumb and idiotic, but sort of fun. And I was thinking like how John Wick is kind of unique in that it's kind of dumb, but it has heart to it.
That's what makes it its power. It's
Yeah.
Heart will save anything, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
Fire, water.
That's exactly what my brain went to. Also,
God,
it's weird.
We come from similar age brackets.
Yeah, not too far off. So, but like I wonder why IDW hasn't, or like is it Dynamite who does all those like Hanna-Barbera?
I think IDW
comics.
does a few too.
Yeah, because I want to say like they've tried a Captain Planet one. I don't think they have though. So I wonder if they'll try that sometime in the near future, or maybe that ship's sailed by now.
You know, I would like to see a gritty reboot, but where Captain Planet's like a fucking like toxic Avenger monster.
Oh yeah, like there's been a great reboot of Power Rangers by now. So
You know what? I want a gritty reboot, a gritty reboot of Scooby Doo, where he's a lycanthrope.
there actually has been a comic that's basically them in the Evil Dead universe, kind of.
Is it good?
I mean, I haven't heard much about that or any comic adaptation or enough to make a proper gauge of what people think of it, I guess. But
just picture lycanthrope Scooby Doo. As he lifts up the decapitated monster. You know, the Scooby Doo movies are kind of okay.
Yeah.
I like the second one. Fight me over that.
yeah, I mean, it makes sense because I know that James Gunn wanted to do something more PG-13 with the first one.
I brought that movie in for school, and we got to that Velma scene. My teacher got fucking lit. Not lit like good lit, like bad lit, like Fuse.
I'll have to rewatch it, 'cause I'm not sure which scene you're talking about.
Well, Velma comes down the leather in his skimpy boots.
Oh.
That scene where she may as well be, you know, hey, all you boys with repressed sexuality.
There was a Josie and the Pussycats movie that was kind of like that, but it was more focused, I guess. And I heard people say it's good, but I've been meaning to track that down, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of has that punk feel to it, from what I've heard.
Imagine a punk reboot of like some of it's definitely not punk.
Like
Let me think.
Smurfs.
Smurf. Papa Smurf is like this old hippie dude. He's got like that. He's a biker. He's got a biker beard already, and they're called that because they do a drug that turns them blue. It's like the opposite of that music video by Daft Punk.
Oh yeah, they could. You know who could play him?
Who?
God, his name I forget. But the guy who played Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I fucking love Yondu. Yondu is my favorite Marvel character, movie-wise. Oh, Mary Poppins, y'all! I want a remake of Mary Poppins, but what they do is it's Mary Poppins, but they just have his actor impersonate every line. A teaspoon of sugar, y'all.
Back to the comic I'm working on. I think that I've been trying to. I've also been cramming with art, because I was actually doing some sketches and realized that I've had trouble drawing two characters kissing. And it's like it seems to be like for the kind of stories I write, not those kinds, but the kinds like anyway. I feel like that's a basic thing that I should have nailed by now. But I find that there's been a lot of stuff that I've been putting on hold until now. So I want to cram as much as I can until I go balls deep into my. I phrased that poorly, by the way. Intentionally.
Yeah, but like, there's stuff that I'm working on as a writer because I have trouble writing romantic scenes. Think of Smokes, you read it. The romantic scene may as well have just been, fucked her on the bed and it was a good time.
Yeah.
But he's got tact.
You're talking about Tooth.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that you shared the lineup to someone and they were upset by Tooth?
Yeah, they saw her nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tooth is the kind of lady who would go like, fuck you. Yeah, Tooth is basically Picture all the stuff Smoke does and give him a uterus, and that's the story, basically.
And she's the kind of character. She struck me as the kind of character who wouldn't wear a bra. And she's got the perky tits.
She also wears what my grandmother referred to as "fuck me pumps."
She's got like the real anime stuff going on, where it's like they're perky. They're like triple D's that are like still perky, without even needing a bra.
She's got it's her mutant ability.
Yeah. Have you seen like the Twitter stuff where people are being upset by big-titted anime characters? Where they're just saying, "Oof, ow, her back."
That's a legitimate concern, but they're also not fucking human beings.
Yeah, like that's basically the logical way to sum it up.
I had a joke idea for Night to Nave where there's a succubus. They actually have air bladders in their breasts, and if you stab them in the tit, she deflates.
Or like their helium.
Yeah. What the? Because they don't use the breast. Well, there's no reproductive purpose for breasts in a succubus.
Yeah.
All she literally does is extract seed, plant seed.
Yeah.
But probably in a more tactful way.
Yeah, it reminds me of, I saw, Rebel Taxi, Pan Pizza, the cartoon reviewer. He did a review of the Darkstalkers cartoon. And have you ever seen the Darkstalkers?
Is it good?
No, it's really bad.
Oh, I like Darkstalkers too.
And it's a shame because the animation studio that did it did the X-Men animated series and the Tick animated series, but they also did a lot of other crap like Skeleton Warriors, where it's like Skeleton Bikers or something.
Skeleton Bikers is fucking cool. I never even heard of it. I love the name.
I mean, it sounds cool and it looks cool, but
it isn't cool.
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, IDW, no, I want to write that. I want to get that copyright. Skeleton Bikers, and there's have to be one with a trombone for a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Reminds me because I was. One last thing from Timothy Lim's Bunderdrome. The last podcast he did was on 90s cartoons, specifically Two Stupid Dogs and SWAT Cats. I don't know if you've ever watched those.
No, but I'm not shocked they exist name-wise.
Yeah, I mean they were really good. Like Two Stupid Dogs especially was sort of the gateway for a lot of for Dexter's Lab, for Powerpuff Girls. A lot of the animators who worked on those got their start on Two Stupid Dogs. And there was a lot of really adult humor in Two Stupid Dogs.
Like any come to mind?
Like there's the episode where they're trying to get into a grocery store, but they can't get through the automatic door because they need shoes. So it goes like they keep getting shoes, and then in one scene they go to a strip club, and then the little dog's like, "Yeah, take it off, take off the shoe, yeah."
Oh my god!
And that's one joke that I vividly remember, but watching it when I was like 8, I think.
What's that? Or did you know?
I want to say I kind of knew. Maybe I did kind of gauge what was going on at least. But maybe I was kind of familiar with that.
The concept of tit for tat.
Yeah. There's another episode where it's basically a Brady Bunch parody, and there's a joke about how the oldest, behind the scenes, the oldest son was dating the oldest daughter. So there's a joke where they're having an argument, and the parents stop arguing, now kiss and make up, and they just start deep throating each other.
Oh my! Wait, that was real that they were dating?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. They made a joke about it in the Brady Bunch movie, I think.
Oh my god! Wait, Brady Bunch. I never got into that.
Yeah. You ever watch the Beverly Hillbillies movie?
No, I'm an uncultured swine.
Yeah, that and the Addams Family movies are the only ones that I've seen. The 90s movie reboot of crappy sitcoms.
Are you? Addams Family was good.
I'll take your word for that.
I like Addams Family. It's a guilty pleasure.
I can't wait for the Frasier movie.
Now you know what I can't wait till we get Hi Honey I'm Home remake. By the way, Jojo Rabbit looks pretty good. I saw more stuff.
Yeah, I mean I was kind of put off by the whole this is an anti-hate satire. It's but I think that for a JoJo movie, it's an American take on it. It should be okay.
Wait, JoJo movie?
Well, I'm saying because JoJo Rabbit, it's JoJo.
Yeah, I gotta be like, I'm gonna pitch that little kid stand as Hitler.
Yeah, I was gonna say because the Hitler in that movie is imaginary.
Like, okay, what would that stand name be in the dub?
Third Reich or
No,
it would be Blitzkrieg Bop.
Oh my god! Hey ho, let's go! And the power he shoots out Zyklon gas.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude.
Instead of dropping a steamroller, he drops Auschwitz.
There's the whole fucking Auschwitz museum now.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, we're going to hell. We're going to hell.
I think that's a good note to end on. Don't you think?
Yeah, you fucking joke of the episode.
Quit while we're still ahead. And so on that note, I've been Tony.
I've been Zach.
And this has been The Monkey Bar.
Got a better vat